Ahead on the Valley today, tragedy at a Minnesota mine pit. That's where a 5-year-old falls to his death.
Plus, a Brainerd man is on the way to federal prison for helping burn down a police station during the George Floyd riots.
And a former NDSU standout braces for today's NFL draft. But most who know football say he won't be waiting long to hear his name. But first, we have a breaking news alert into our newsroom this morning. Police say a naked woman broke into the Grand Forks Girl Scout building overnight. It happened just after midnight in the 900 block of South Columbia Road.
Police found the woman with minor injuries to her feet. 31-year-old Elizabeth Burns of Bismarck was treated for injuries, then booked on charges of burglary and criminal mischief.
Police reform now. That's the pitch from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He is holding a news conference in just a few hours to call on the state Senate to take immediate action on changes for law enforcement.
The pitch comes on the heels of the murder conviction of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin in the death of George Floyd, and the shooting death of Dante Wright by former police officer Kim Potter in Brooklyn Center earlier this month. A Brainerd man who set fire to a Minneapolis police station during protests over the death of George Floyd will spend 4 years in a federal prison. 23-year-old Dylan Robinson lit a Molotov cocktail that another person threw toward the 3rd Precinct headquarters. He and others also tore down a fence that surrounded that building.
A 5-year-old boy is dead after falling from the side of a mine pit in northern Minnesota. Police say the boy fell 70 feet from the side of that pit near the town of Virginia on Wednesday afternoon. They're not saying what led up to that fall, but they do say it appears to be an accident. Neighbors in one small North Dakota town, they're picking up the pieces this morning after a grass fire destroyed a home, several outbuildings, and vehicles. The Emerado, North Dakota Fire Department got called yesterday afternoon to a fire that was threatening parts of town. They found a mobile home on fire and other homes in harm's way.
They say high winds caused the fire to spread quickly, but crews were able to contain flames and prevent further damage to surrounding areas. Luckily, no one was hurt. They are still looking for the cause. Some people are calling it gorilla hail, and you can see why by looking at the damage it did in North Texas.
Large hailstones yesterday smashed car windows when a severe thunderstorm moved through the region. One town reported hail going through the roof of their house. Some crazy images there. Luckily this morning here in the valley, nothing like that. In fact, we're being treated to a beautiful sunrise out there. Let's get a check of your forecast now with meteorologist Nathan Hopper. Good morning, Nathan.
Yeah, good morning, Jordan. Nothing like that at all here across the valley. In fact, yes, beautiful sunrise there from our Corwin Auto Sky Cam in South Fargo. So have those sunglasses ready if you're an eastbound traveler, as that sun is bright there on those I-94 folks heading off toward the east. Temperatures out the door this morning in the 30s for most everybody. 21 Langdon, one of the cooler spots, and then 41 in Wadena as one of the cooler spots, right around freezing for us in Fargo. Satellite and radar shows the cool front exiting off toward the east. I am watching though some moisture up toward the north with some clouds. I'm not seeing any surface observations of anything being reported here, but could be seeing a few flakes or flurries there in Langdon. And as this moisture moves its way across the valley, some passing clouds are expected. Maybe a few raindrops from this moisture as it makes its way through, but I think it's dry enough at the surface to where we won't be able to see that because it evaporates before it gets all the way to the ground. Fargo wind gusts today gusting upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour through the afternoon, so your morning commute won't be too bad, but the evening commute will be a bit more windy with those winds out of the north and west. Here's the hour by hour for the rest of this morning. You can see those clouds moving in from the north, temperatures 30s and 40s by 9 o'clock. By lunchtime, 40s and 50s, and there's those clouds moving through, just moving through quietly and calmly, but may see a few raindrops here or there as they move through. Then there's those northwest winds kicking in by about 4 o'clock. Notice those northwest winds. And so with dry conditions and those strong winds, fire conditions will be dangerous again for us today. There's those clouds exiting off toward the south, 50s and 60s for those high temperatures today. And then we see those winds still with us by 6 o'clock. So those winds will be strong out of the north for us on this Thursday. But after sunset, I do expect those winds to calm down and those clouds to exit off toward the south after sunset as well. Of course, a quick look at that 7-day planner shows Friday even a little bit warmer than it will be today. And Saturday, seeing those highs around 80, plenty of sunshine for the first half of the weekend. But a cold front does come through on Sunday, so that cools us down to around 70 for those highs. Could be some showers or thunder showers with that front coming through Sunday. But even after that front, highs stay in the 60s as we head into the first business week of the month of May. Cinco de Mayo there for Wednesday. Could be some spotty showers, but still with highs in the 60s early next week. Jordan, Lisa?
All right, real question here, Nathan. Margaritas on your deck on Saturday or on Lisa's? Which one is it?
My planner's open, so name a spot, I'll be there.
All right. My dick. Let's do it.
Okay,
All right,
I'm in.
sounds good.
All right.
David, thank you.
President Joe Biden hits the road today to sell his plans for a better America. He delivered his first address to a joint session of Congress last night.
The president worked to sell his massive infrastructure proposal, calling it a blue-collar blueprint to build America. He's also proposing expanding family leave and aid for child care, health care, and education. Help wanted is at several area police departments. West Fargo is looking to hire 3 officers, but like many departments, they're struggling to find enough candidates who are interested.
The department wants to hire people with life experience and those who have empathy and compassion for the community. West Fargo PD has seen a decline in interested applicants over the last 10 years. And in a climate where there is heightened mistrust in police, officials say they won't be cutting any corners. West Fargo Police is accepting applications until May 31st. A judge in the Northern Valley has pleaded guilty to misdemeanors in connection with the hunting incident. Scott Holmquist encouraged his son to illegally shoot a white-tailed deer without a rifle tag last November.
He then used a tag from someone else for the buck and told his son how to get rid of it and then cover up the crime. Holmquist pleaded guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor and for hunting big game animals that are protected. His hunting, fishing, and trapping privileges are now suspended for a year. A Walmart employee is getting praise and credit for helping crack the case against the man accused of painting racist graffiti on a Moorhead mosque. Police say the woman found recent history of someone buying red spray paint at the store.
Receipts led detectives to 22-year-old Benjamin Enderle. They executed a search warrant at his home on Tuesday, and when they interviewed him, they say he confessed.
That's a community member that's saying, I don't like what happened here, and I'm going to take it upon myself to try and help the police out here because I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
Enderle is expected in court today. The Clay County Attorney's Office says they have not yet met with federal prosecutors for additional charges. They say it's unclear if they will or not.
North Dakota is merging its Health and Human Services departments into one, and the change should be complete by September of 2022. Governor Doug Burgum signed off on the bill yesterday. The idea is to reduce redundancy and promote collaboration.
The health department has 204 positions, $160 million budget for the biennium. Human Services has more than 2,200 positions and a $4.1 billion budget. Legislators say there should be no job losses. Plans for a state-backed amusement park in Jamestown, they're a bust. Some legislators mocked the idea as a symbol of wasteful spending, and a conference committee then scrapped the proposal.
The park was planned for state-owned land along I-94 near the National Buffalo Museum. Former Bison quarterback Trey Lance's life could be about to change in a big way. He's expected to be picked in the first round of the NFL draft, which starts today. And many analysts say he'll be a top 5 pick. They point to his athleticism and ability to throw the football, while referencing his low number of starts as a possible downside.
A couple of Lance's teammates at NDSU are also expected to go high. Dylan Reduns and Jabril Cox. They're expected to be off the board after the first 2 rounds. You may not be able to watch live theater in person just yet, but a local college is still doing their production, but in a different way.
The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod is joining us live this morning talking about NDSU's virtual production of Annie. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. It just brings the song It's a Hard Knock Life just in person to all of us, because now it's impacting everyone, just like it was impacting Annie. But letting you know that they are going through the struggles when it came to putting this production together. But now, because of that, they're able to have a show that anyone, anywhere can watch. So there is some good that's coming out of this. Now, with the production of Annie, there is no live show or audience. The audience watches from home, and the show itself is pre-recorded. Now, usually there are 6 weeks of prep work that goes into this show, but because of this pandemic, it's been shortened to 4.5 weeks. Now, the stage crew wearing masks and social distancing while performing, which is their singing and dancing like you see in the video. And the opening night is on Friday. It'll be the first time in 2 weeks that the cast will have seen one another. That's going to be via Zoom. And they're just blessed to be able to have a show.
So grateful to even have the opportunity to make theater and present theater. Yes, it's a little different, but we're creative people, so we enjoy that challenge.
Now, the show is going to begin this Friday at 7:30 at night, and it's going to go on Saturday at 2 in the afternoon and 7:30 at night that same night. Now, there are more options to see the show next week as well. And once you purchase your $5 ticket, the streaming link will be emailed to you. So the link to those tickets can be found at valleynewslive.com. So Jordan and Lisa, we got to find out whose house we're going to pop some popcorn so we can watch this as well.
Well, we're already drinking margaritas on my deck.
On
It's gonna be so
Saturday,
beautiful.
so we can also just make it an Annie party. I'll bring the wigs. Lisa has the red dress. It sounds like a good time. Brian Sherrod reporting live this morning. Thank you.
It's not a bad idea. That'd be fun.
It would be, actually.
A call center consultant from Scotland with a taste for adventure is combining work with pleasure. Check this out in his cliff face office over the Irish Sea. Talk about working remotely.
And now Jason Griffin, he works for a software company. He set up a temporary office perched on the ledge just off the north coast of Wales. Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question today is, 1 out of 3 of us have done this in our sleep.
Ooh, sent a text message while sleeping. I believe it, actually.
Yeah, we're always connected to our phone anyway. But remember, you can play along every morning on our Facebook page. The Today Show and CBS This Morning just about to start, but the Valley Today, it rolls on. Join us more live news and weather on the Fargo CW.